sound on. Transition to the talking screen. And hello, everyone. How are you doing, Mama?
I'm doing all right. How are you this evening?
Doing all right. I don't have anything fun and exciting to share since last time. Anything you want to share, Mama?
Nope, nothing new for me.
Sounds good. Did I do anything fun yesterday? The day before? Not really. Alright. That is all the things then. I guess eventually I need to start thinking of like opening conversation topics. Um,
Eh,
but I don't know. As of right
conversation's
now,
overrated.
yeah, I don't know. It does make it so that it's a nice like opener. Into
Speaking as a severe introvert,
yeah. Um, it I guess if we're on the topic, I I have been trying to branch out more recently, but I've been finding it quite difficult. Um, I've got like a small group of people around me, trying to make that a slightly bigger group of people around me. So I've been going to some community events and stuff, some meetups and whatnot, a couple of board games events, and like the events that I found most useful, or maybe not most useful, most productive in building my own personal community of the people I'm connected with are the activities where there's actually like or the events where there's actually like low commitment activities to do with other people. Because like I've been to like random meetups at like restaurants and stuff in the community, and oftentimes like people are already like familiar with those people around them, and so like they stick to their like groups and stuff, and so like you could be like a new person at supposedly a new to the community event type thing, and people won't talk to you. And I've been finding that to be um, quite painful to want to keep going to those. But seeing as I'm trying to branch out, it's made it quite difficult to figure out, okay, well, if this event, which is supposed to be a meet other people event, is not good for meeting other people, how do you actually design an event like that that's actually welcoming to people who are new to any type of community? And I think even for the events that I've had a good time at, like the board game ones, um, where there is like because board games is a really easy, low commitment um, group activity for people. Um, like it's still kind of difficult. Like people like go to those events and they have like their group of people that like they're it's been something where like I want to meet other people um and have like conversations um but other people seem to be focused on their communities, their miniature personal friend groups, and not willing to put in the effort to welcome new people in. And that's something that I think needs to happen more when we're trying to build community. Um, do you have any thoughts on that, Mama?
well, I went to one Magic pre-release,
Mhm.
and so like-minded people. Still extremely stressful.
Yeah. Do you feel like there was any effort to like include you in like the Magic pre-release as somebody who showed up to like participate? Like, do you think that like
Well, yeah, I mean, people talk to me, of course, it's um a also a tournament type of thing, so you're
hmm,
talking to your opponent, but even so, it was stressful enough I haven't gone back.
yeah. The things that like really struggle with is that like when I go to those types of events, I feel like interchangeable person number 37 as the number I've been settling on when I talk to other people about this feeling that I've had is that like sure I go to an event that's designed to meet people, have conversations with new people, supposedly beginner friendly, um, and welcoming, but people talk at me rather than to me, and it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't like. There's no thing that feels, and I get that this is a really feely, ephemeral, very subjective thing, but I feel like the conversations I'm having would not change if you were to replace me with somebody else. Like they're just saying words at me and not really having a conversation with me. And that's like the thing that is really something I struggle with. Uh, Even if there's a small back and forth of conversation, like I'm not really adding anything to the conversation, and like they're not really adding anything to the conversation either. It's just sort of like the thing that is being discussed. I don't know. I really do wish like there was more things to like make it feel more comfortable. Because I don't know. Like, do you have like? Because I'm struggling with like the fact that I'm sort of speaking in broad terms, but with the magic um uh I'm struggling with this. The second word was it like pre-release? Is
Uh-huh.
that the event at the Magic pre-release? Was there something that you feel could have done or could have happened to make it feel less stressful for you?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Um, I do like the fact that there was like a tournament associated with it because the tournament helps with um, like having like an actual activity to do. So that really helps with having like a center um, activity there for people to engage in. So that way, that like there's no you can commit to a thing in a low effort way without having to like go above and beyond and start something with new people. Because like to do the tournament, all you have to do is sign up for it. Like that's a really low commitment thing. Versus like at the board game events that I've gone to, like if I want to play a game with new people, I have to go up and talk to somebody new or walk up to a table. There isn't like an easy like, hey, if you want to play this game, sign up here type of thing where like it's really clear that like I can go do this thing. Because like I've gone to like board game events and only played with my partner because like nobody was like I went up to other tables and like, hey, what game are you guys playing? But like they're already in the middle of the game, so like you can't really add somebody new. Um, or like I do see a table that's trying to start a new game. But it's just like I go over there and like, hey, what game are you about to play? Oh, it's already full. Darn. Okay. Um, and like even when there are people that I whose names I know, I can like say hi to them. But like again, the same things happen. Like you can't join us for X, Y, and Z reason. Having like a clear input to like the thing, and then a way um, I think the other thing that I would find really really helpful for me at least is having another thing there that is able to be really inclusive for people in a low commitment way. Because I have found that um, if there can be any type of drop in, drop out type of activity, in some board game events, like there's like certain party games are really good for this. That you can like hop in um, if you want, and then drop out when you're done, and that sort of thing. That's really good for that sort of stuff. Chip Sounder says, hey, Chip Sounder. I'm trying to think for Magic what that. I mean, I guess for Magic, one thing you could do is just simply have like a set of tables where like people can just sit down and play like a game, where you are not allowed to um, like you have to sign up to play, and you're randomly assigned like an opponent, but it's just a
Yeah,
one-off
that's the way
game.
it works.
Well, I'm saying like on top of like the tournament, where um like eventually like at the end of the tournament there's a winner, right? And once you've I mean maybe the tournament's one of those like you play multiple games and whoever had like the most points at the end. Like what was the tournament structure?
Um, there were, I mean, various rounds, and it was best 2 or 3 games per round.
Yeah.
So,
Um, but like when you
and then point,
um say
and then it was points for,
okay, so
I mean,
it was like a like if you lost like one round, you weren't out. You'd have to continue to keep playing.
oh no, yeah, everybody continued to play.
Okay, then that's kind of like the thing that I was sort of um getting at, like that sort of thing. Because I when you said tournament, I imagined, and this is my fault for not asking the question for the structure of the
It
tournament
it
sooner.
wasn't like a single elimination or anything.
Yeah, that's the thing that when you said tournament popped into my head, because that's like, I mean, it's the default assumption, but that's not necessarily the right thing, because you can also have double elimination and a bunch of other different ways of going about it. So I like the fact that was a multiple round tournament where if you lost, and no big deal, you get to keep playing. So that's really good. That's the sort of thing that would be nice. And then also like maybe expand that with like one-off games. Like if somebody didn't show up early enough for the tournament or whatever. Um, I'm trying to think of like other ways of um, making like Magic um, more inclusive in like a drop in, drop out type of way. Um,
Well,
but
even like Extra Life,
mm,
they're again like-minded people playing games with people I don't know was actually stressful.
yeah, no, I felt like the same way, especially because like the thing that I felt was really lacking was some type of central person to help like group people in sort of like an organized fashion of like, hey, somebody wants to start a new game. Let's bring people in. Like let's actually make an effort to like if it's a 6 player game, get 6 players for the game. There would be like a few like one offs here and there where people would like um, randomly ask like, "Hey, do you want to play Twilight Imperium?" And it's like at one of the only events where you can actually play Twilight Imperium because that game takes forever. Um, And so, like, I did that, and I liked that I was, like, asked personally if I wanted to play. But I think that, like, there could be ways of, like, getting, like, a whole big group of people, and then, like, okay, we're gonna play this game, who wants to play this? And then we're gonna play this other game, who wants to play that? And then having, like, a list of games, and, like, actually trying to get people to play in a way that's like, I don't know. I'm talking about it in really broad terms, but does the idea, like, I don't know. Do you think that idea makes any sense at all, Mama?
Yeah, probably. But I've also said for years I'm a natural hermit, so
Yeah. Uh,
anyway, we're here to
yeah.
play Sudoku.
We are here to play Sudoku. So let's go ahead and get started on that. And the first puzzle for today is going to be Yin Yang Dominoes. Where is... Oh, it's just right here. Oops, I clicked off. That's not what I wanted. Actually, if I click refresh, I should just go back to where I was. Alright. Yin Yang Dominoes. And link to the puzzle. It's in the chat. So if you'd like to give it a go, it's in the chat. Puzzle 1 for today, Yin Yang Dominoes by Puzzle Tank. Normal Sudoku rules. Place the digits 1 through 9 in every row, column, and 3x3 box. Killer. Digits in a cage must not repeat, and sum to the number in the top left corner if given. Yin Yang. Shade some cells such that all shaded cells are orthogonally connected, and all unshaded cells are orthogonally connected. No 2x2 area can be entirely shaded or unshaded. Shading. All cages have one shaded cell and one unshaded cell. The largest digit in a cage is always shaded, and the smallest digit is always unshaded. All given digits are of the same shading. Kropki. Digits separated by a black dot are in a 1:2 ratio. Not all black dots are given. Okay. Well, if these are all the same, then we're just going to make them all black. Now, okay, so what does the yin-yang rule mean? So if I have, let's say all of these here are shaded, and let's actually go up a couple of these, then the unshaded cells, let's see. Okay, so if these are shaded, right, then the shaded cells are all orthogonally connected. Orthogonally just means not diagonally. So if I were to do this right here, these are not connected. They have to go up, down, left, or right to be orthogonally connected. And then also the no 2x2 rule means that these have to be unshaded. Which actually, let me make that yellow. Just so it's a little bit more greater contrast, especially with the white. I feel like I'm not explaining that perfectly, but that's the best that I can think of, unless you can think of a better explanation.
Oh.
Then with that, everything else is pretty straightforward. So this 3 has 1 or 2 in it, this 3 has 1 or 2 in it, and then all of these are going to be shaded. Now, one thing with the fact that all shaded cells are orthogonally connected. Now, there's no rule that it has to touch the wall. Well, 14 is 6, 5, 8, 9. I don't know why I was getting confused around that.
There's a
7,
16
3,
page in box 8.
16 and box 8 is 7 and 9. 14, 5, 6, 8, 9, where both of these two are going to be the same, is this 14 has to be the opposite version.
5 cage in box 5 and a 6 cage in box.
The 1, 2 helps with the 6 cage. This must be 4 or 5, and 1 or 2 on top. And actually, this 8 cage must be 3, 5 because of the 1, 2, and that's going to help with the 6 cage much better. And, oh.
The 4 is shaded.
Shading.
The larger digit is shaded.
Yeah. Now, with the shading rules, all cages have one shaded cell and one unshaded cell. The largest digit in a cage is always shaded, and the smaller is always unshaded.
Right.
And
at this point, we don't know if the given are actually shaded or unshaded.
Right. And that is...
But they're all the same.
Yeah. So let me make them purple. Go through 4, where the right isn't a 1, so the left isn't a 4.
Row 3 needs 6, 7, 8, 9.
Can't have a 9 in
and
a
the
9
11
cage anyway.
cage is somewhat restrictive there.
2 and 9, 7 and 4. That should be red, that should be black. And 5 and 6 still makes the... this is minimum 6, and that's maximum 5. This one's clearly the smaller, and this one's clearly the larger. Seven is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 4 pairs with 3, and then 5 pairs with 2, so this is 1 and 6. So this isn't a 6. And we have 2, 7, 8, 9. So that's another 2. Six is going to look down and take the 6 out of here, which paired with 8. This cell right here sees both versions of the 14. So 5, 6, 8, and 9 are all gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. 5, 6, 8, 9.
Can't be a 9 because of the 9th cage.
And since this one is that one, this one can't be a 9, so the top can't be a 5. I wonder if it's necessary to identify those two as the same. I don't know. Yet, at least. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, where the bottom isn't a 9, so the top isn't a 4.
Bottom's not a 7 either.
That's true. 7. I took out 5, but that would be for a 12, because I was just thinking about that 12 cage. But take the 6 out. 7 and 6 make 13. Now, with this puzzle, with everything being orthogonally connected, I cannot have checkerboards, correct?
Correct.
Because if I have this happening here, in order for these to be connected, it would have to cut this one off from the other one. So, what does that mean? I was thinking about this one.
Well, look where ones can go in box 2 and how that affects the ones in box 1.
Ah, the one down here takes out of these 2 and 4, and can't put 1 in an 11. So that's 1 there, which is going to place 6 and 1, unshaded and shaded.
And okay, now going in box 1, that shaded has to extend.
That's true.
And it's well, never mind.
And because of these two have to touch somehow. If it didn't wrap around this corner somehow, like this, then let's say this one was unshaded, well then this one would have to wrap around. And well, that's not allowed because it will be cut off. So we know that this must connect all the way around to here. And the same is true from this side. All of these must therefore be yellow. Because if this one wasn't... Go ahead.
Page in box 1 that's unnumbered. It has a black top. The lower digit is yellow. That can't be 2 on top.
Or 7. And that places a 2 here. And this one's 3 and 5. 5 there's 9 for 14.
The shaded has to extend from box 1 to box 4.
Box 1, box 4.
So that's now the 8.
6, 5, 9. 5 and 9. 5,
Yellow.
there's 8, 4. Say again. 6 is yellow.
The 6, right, and the 8 has to extend. There we go.
And we're still not allowed any 2x2s, which gives us a number of different things. And now, minimum 7, maximum 6. This is the smaller of the 2. Why do I keep painting red? Feels a bit silly. It's okay.
In row 6, the 12 gauge is 4, 8. Because there's a 5 and a 9.
So that's 7 and 6. 8 and 3. 2, 8. This one's these from these two. Paired with 1. 8 has to be one of these, so 8 is one of those.
Well, box 3, the yellow cell, is going to be from 5, 6, or 7. Can't be 8 because so now 9 can be placed in row 2.
Because this 9 removes it from here, this 9 removes it from both of those, because of the higher and lower, and then none of these can be 9. This one, because it must be smaller, and none of those just are 9. To be
6, 7, or 8. Places the 5 in row 2.
Where's the 6, 7, or 8? You saying here?
Uh-huh. Because there's a 5 in columns.
Oh, well, this 6 rules it out of all of the top. So this one's the 6. So the 7's over here, paired with 2. A 1 and a 4. And we can't have checkerboards, because this would never be able to reach that without cutting off one of the others. And no 2x2s. No checkerboards.
Box 3, no checkerboard. And it has to connect. Box 2.
4 and 9. 4 and 9. 4, 7, 8. 2 and 9 are gone. 6 gone. That's 2. That's 9. 2. Higher and lower. 6, 7, and 8, I think. 3, 6, 7, 8. Either 7 or 8. And 1. 3, 6, 7, 8. Oh, this is just an 8.
It's going to be the higher digit in that cage.
Right, because the 9 here rules it out of this. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7. So we've got 4,
So
5, and 9. What were you going to say?
The shaded from box 4 has to extend.
Shaded from box 4 here must extend. And that makes
That
this
resolves.
smaller. Apparently this one is a 3, 6, 1.
7, 8. Row 4, column 4. Has to be shaded so we don't get a 2x2.
Right.
And then no
Checkerboards.
checkerboard.
This 4 is larger than 3. No 2x2s. No 2x2s.
And it has to extend to touch.
7.
That Kropke dot in box 9 has to be 3, 6 because 2 and 4 are both used. And the 3, 6 is 3 is the lower one. Oh no, that's not a cage. Never mind.
Right. 9's not allowed either. It's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. So this has to be at least 3, and it's not 3, 4, 5, 6, or 9. And since this can't be a 9, this can't be an 8, so it's 2, 7, 8. 2, 8, 7. I don't see 1, which has to be the top one. I didn't put it in the bottom.
5.
I don't see 5. And then I don't see 5 in here either. It's going to be here. A 2 is going to be the top one. A 3 is on the right, and a 4 on the left. There we go. And column 9. It was pretty easy. Now, one of the things that made it easier is the fact that I knew about this going around the ring problem. I already knew about the checkerboards. So having that advanced knowledge, helps quite a bit in a puzzle like this. Because otherwise, getting all the way around here and all the way around this way would take a lot longer, because you'd have to reason that out, rather than just have that in the back of your head as one of the tools that you know. And I think this is one of those things where, like, when you have like a puzzle that just has like a thing, like if there's a puzzle where you have to use the Fistemafell ring, if you know the Fistemafell ring, the puzzle's a lot easier than if you don't know it. But that doesn't change the complexity of the puzzle. And so when I'm trying to rate puzzles like this, I'm trying, at least I personally, I'm trying to look at the complexity of the puzzle and acknowledge the tools that I already have in the back of my head for identifying whether or not a puzzle is more complex versus less complex in what is required to solve it. Because, like, things like there are a number of different named techniques in Sudoku. One of them is, I think, the XYZ wing, where, or maybe it's just an XY wing. It doesn't matter. There's a couple of techniques that have specific names where if you can identify certain things, then you can make eliminations happen. Or maybe they're just called violets. I'm getting caught up on the name, and the name's not important. The fact that it is named makes it important. And the same thing with the Fistemafell ring, and like all of the checkerboards and stuff, and this thing here. So like when you have a puzzle that requires that, if you're already aware of those techniques and know how to use them, then while the complexity of the puzzle doesn't change, the perceived difficulty, does. It's a lot easier to do a puzzle when you have all of the tools prepared ahead of time, rather than having to reason them out on the fly. Similar to like this one here, where like because the 2 and the 4 were already in the column, the GLUM was able to identify that had to be 3, 6, because like you can't use 5, 7, and 9 on those, and 3, 6 versus 1, 2, 4, 8 are like 2 separate groups. But that one's not quite as difficult. But it is one of those things that, like, when you do puzzles like this a lot, and it ends up being one of those things that's in the back of your head. Same thing with like German whisper lines. The fact that they have to differ by 5 means they alternate high and low. That may not necessarily be a thing that is obvious the first time you see it. Anyway, any thoughts on the matter, Mama?
No.
I think with that, I am going to stick with easy on this puzzle, because while these techniques are necessary, well, maybe not necessarily necessary, knowing this definitely makes it easier. I don't know if it's necessarily that complicated a task to reason through. But with that, I have now rated the puzzle, so that leads us to puzzle number 2 for today, which is going to be called Miracle Once Again. Here and anyway, Miracle Once Again by Samantha Mukherjee. Hopefully I am close to correct on the pronunciation there. Normal Sudoku rules apply, i.e. place the digits 1 through 9 once each in every row, column, and 3x3 box. A digit in a circle indicates how many circles contain that digit. Place some circles in the grid such that a box M contains exactly M number of circles. Wait, what? Normal Sudoku rules apply. Okay. A digit in a circle indicates how many circles contain that digit. Place some circles in the grid such that a box M contains exactly M number of circles. Okay, I do not understand that line. Boxes are numbered in normal reading order, so the top left box of the grid is box 1, the bottom right box is box 9, i.e. box 1 should have 1 circle, box 3 should have 3 circles. Okay, I should have just kept reading, I now understand. If a cell, for example, row 1, column 1, contains a circle, then all the cells beneath it in the grid, 8 cells in this case, must contain circles. No 2 9s in the grid can be separated by a single chess king's or single chess knight's move, but every 9 must share a diagonal with at least one other 9. Okay, there are a lot of rules here, but I think I understand. So, let's imagine we have some circles, and those circles are placed about like so. So, box 1 must have 1 circle, box 2, 2, box 3, 3, and so on. So that was the first one that I got caught up on, but it was explained fairly straightforwardly. Now, if a cell, for example, row 1, column 1, contains a circle, then all cells beneath it in the grid, 8 cells in this case, must contain circles. So, if we clear the grid, then if I place a circle here, then all of the circles must continue below it. If I place a circle here, then it must be all circles below it. If I place a circle here, all the way down. So, no 2 9s in the grid. Okay, so if I place a 9 here, then where else can 9 not go? You can't go following standard Sudoku rules. But then we also have anti-king, which is the square around it, and anti-knight, which is going to be standard is 2 steps in one direction, 1 step in the other. Or you can think of it as a diagonal step and then the two orthogonal steps. And so I made that more confusing than I needed to. So let's make that a bit more straightforward. So this is where my 9 is. One step up, or 2 steps up, one to the left and right. 2 steps to the left, one up and one down. 2 steps down, one to the left, one to the right. 2 steps right, one up, one down. That's anti-knight. The square around is anti-king. And then your standard Sudoku, going all this way, and then not in the same box. Alright. That was much easier with that explanation, I think. So yeah, I think that's all of the rules for that puzzle. Anything you think I should explain differently or again? Alright then, let's get started. So first things first, is this box is full. And box 8 is full except for 1. Now, that 1 must be in the empty cell, must be in the top row. And then for box 7, I could have 2 empty cells that are stacked on top of each other. So these are the circles that I know ahead of time must exist. Now, the other thing that I know is that the circles, a digit in a circle indicates how many circles contain that digit. Well, how many circles will I end up having? Well, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 is 45. If you add up all of the digits 1 through 9 once each, you get 45. But also, with these circle rules, where circles tell you how many digits contain that circle, if I have a 1 in a circle, then that 1, 1 tells me there's 1, 1 in a circle. If I have a 2, then there will be 2 2s in circles. Well, if I have 45, and so if I only had 3 circles, then I would know that I would have a 1 and 2 2s, or I would have to have a 3 for 3 3s. But if I add a 4, that would add 4 more circles. So the number of circles ends up being the sum of the different digits. And if I have 45 circles, then that means I have to have all of the numbers 1 through 9, each of their respective number of times. So the 1 1 that is in here, that is in a circle, must be in box 9. And so the 1 that is not in box 8 must be up here in this row. So in box 7, I must have a 1. And I must also have a 2 that is not in a circle, because the only digit not in a circle in box 8 is a 1. And so the 1 and a 2 are not in box 7, because then I would have a 2 and another 2. So what does that do? That means in box 7, I am going to have the 2 digits stacked like this that are not in a circle. So once I figure out where the 1 and the 2 are, then the other, it will end up looking like this. Now, where do we go from here? Because everything else is going to be in a circle. And if I look at box 1, it has to be a 9. Now, obviously, in box 1, I cannot put the 9 anywhere but the bottom row, because I would have to have a circle below the 9, it is going to have to be like so. Now, this is box 4, and wherever I place the 9, I'm going to have 3 circles here. So the other circle is going to be on top of the other column that is completely stacked up in box 7. So it'll end up looking like this. Okay, well, the 9 that must be in box 2, and the 8 that must be in box 2, and it's going to give us a 9 in box 3. And so then it would have to cascade downwards. So then the 8 that must be below it, and the 7 that must be below it must look like this. We get an 8 that looks like that. But we don't know where 7s are. It can be anywhere else in boxes 1 and 2. But in box 7, they're going to have to be stacked. Same with box 2. So what is the box 6 supposed to look like? Well, we'll stack going straight down. But that's it. That's all we know. And this will stack going straight down. But we will have a gap, so box 5 will look something like this. But box 6 can look like this, can look like that, or that. And 9, 8,
is it
and
only 9 that affects the... That's...
9s must share a diagonal and are ruled out anti-knight, anti-king, and must share a diagonal with at least one other 9. So could this be a 9? We've got Sudoku, but that doesn't affect either of these. Anti-knight and anti-king will rule the 9s out of there. So you could have a 9 here, a 9 there, and then a 9 is one of those two.
Well... Okay, yeah, I see the diagonal it could fit in.
Well, where can I put 9 in box 4? It must be in one of the circles. In fact, the 9 is going to have to be on the bottom row. Because the 9 that's here is going to have circles below it. And so none of those can be 9, and then there must be one other circle that contains a 9, because the 9 9s must be one in each box. That's how I know there's a 9 here. So, while none of these can reach to the bottom with anti-king, an anti-knight. They do with Sudoku. But the 9 here means that 9 must be down here as well. In fact, the same is going to be true. No. I can still have a 9 here. So yeah, it would go 9, 9. No, it would have to end up there. If I did the 9 here and there, where can I place 9s in this column? Well, not there, but that would be fine. So yeah, so the 9s would end up looking in this horseshoe shape. Eights would be in this horseshoe shape as well. Aha! But, because in wherever I place this 9, it's going to end up with circles down below it. Then in the 5 box, and I'm going to have the 2 stacked like this, because those two have to be 8 and 9. And so that can't be a 9, that can't be an 8. So we're going to have 9s like this, 9s like that, 8s like this, so then we end up with 8s like that again. Okay. The 9 in this box has to be in a circle. So the 6 cage is going to have to look like this. So then we're going to have 8s and then 7s for the exact same reason we did over here. Okay. 987, 987, 789. Does it have to be 987? Because it's going to have to go 1, 2, 3 stacked like this. Which means it's going to have to be 1, 2, 3 stacked like that. And so 1, 2, 3 stacked like this. Okay, well, nines have to share at least one diagonal. do I have enough here that that's meaningful? I'm going to have a 9 in here. Then 9 can be anything like this. And then 9 can be anywhere. They have to share at least one diagonal. Okay? Well, if I made this a 9, then it would have to be one of those two. And then it would have to be one of these two. This would see both. Any of those. We could do either of these two, but this sees both of those by anti-knight and anti-king. And then if we look down here, this, that, and that sees them all by... I mean, that row is just Sudoku. This one sees both of these by anti-king and anti-knight. So that's not allowed. And we get next wing. So these two aren't allowed, and that's forced. And so we get one of those three. One of those three. This sees both of those, so it's out. This one sees both of those, so it's out. Next wing, it's there.
Oh, and the one in box 1 has to be able to see a 9 by diagonal.
And it has to be that. So that's going to be that, 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 that. And now this one sees that one, which is good. This one sees that one. Those two are good. This one sees that one. Bing. This one sees that one. Bing. This one.
Doesn't
Not
see
there.
any by diagonal.
There. Not there. And not there. So, we're not good. So starting from the assumption that this could be a 9, it cannot. Let's try this one. Alright. Forces this. Forces that. These two both see this one. This is those two. This one sees those two. This one sees that. This one sees that. And this one sees both of these two. This one sees that one. This one sees... Well, those are all together, and these three are actually alone. So, that's a possibility. So instead of starting the one on the right, let's do the one in the middle. and progress stalls. Okay, well, this one sees both of those, so it's gone. How do we make more progress than this? If it was this one, then it would be that one and that one. And then it would have to be one of these three. Rule out both of those. So it would be there. Not these three, not this one. Aha! So this one is ruled out because it would have to be one of these two, and that one, and so one of these three. This one rules out those, it's there. So now, this one rules out both of these, so we get this one and that one. So now all of this, the middle and bottom, and middle and right, and the top right as well, are all ruled out. So this one doesn't work. So that's ruled out, meaning this one's forced. Those two, these, both see here, both see there, and both of them see this. So that means those are out. This one forces that one. And then we stall again.
Well, the column 6 rules out everything in box 9, column 1, or well, in column 6. Because
Column 6. All of these. This will see that one and that one by anti-king and that one by anti-knight. This one sees all of them by anti-king, and this one is just a reflection of the top. So that forces this one. And this one sees that one. So that one's good to go. Okay. Well, this middle one sees that by Sudoku and those by anti-knight. So that one's gone. Okay. Can this one see anything on this diagonal? It cannot.
no.
So it's ruled out. So this one can be forced, and it sees that. So that one's three. These two are ruled out. This one can see that one. This doesn't work. This one doesn't work either. And this one got that diagonal ruled out. So that one's out. And that one's out. But then doesn't work.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. So, well, this one ends up working. Nothing else works. So, this one doesn't work. This one's a 9, which forces that one to be a 9, which forces that one to be a 9. This one rules out this one, so this one and that one are 9s. Get 8 and 7 connected with them. 7. 4, 5, 6. 3. 9. 7 rolled out of both of those, so that's a 7. 9 rolls out that one, so this one ends up being a 9 and 8.
7s aren't affected by anti-knight and anti.
They are definitely not affected. That is a silly me.
Why does it
I don't
say
know
on
why
its
that one's red. It's probably just being goofy. However, this 9 rules it out of the top, so it has to be this one. And then these two both see this, so that this one gets forced, and those two aren't allowed, so that one is, and that one is. That should give me all of my 9s, and
The 9s are all circles.
those are all connected. Those are all connected. Get a nice fancy rectangle here. First try. Eight, 7, 8. Because 8 had to be one of these two, because it's ruled
Right.
out by those two 8s. And therefore, where can 8 go in this box? Well, if it's one of those two, that rules out those two by anti-king, and this one by anti-king and anti-knight. And then this 8 rules out those. And I guess also that 8, ruled out all of those. And this one has to be 1.
And the 1s, 2, 3s, and 4s, 5s, 6s can all be, well, not well placed, at least where they are in boxes 3, 7, and 9.
Six, 7, 8. That 4 sees them. This one sees a 6. And 1 and 2. So those are ruled out. Now these are 1, 2 pair. That's a 2. That's a. No. The 1 there. Okay. Yeah, that's 2. That's 1. And now those aren't 2. 3, 4, 2, 1, 3, 2. And then we're going to have 3, 5. 5, 4, 3. 6, 5, 4. 5, 6, 7. 7, 6, 5. I mean, I should just simply put them in, like, as they are clearly sort of forced to go. This should be an 8, and then you've got, oh, that's a 7, and where else can I put a 6, and then I need 3, 4, 5, and then 5, 6,
6,
7,
7.
and then 2, 3, 4, and not a 5 for I don't know what
Bottom's a
reason, but these two aren't a
5.
7. That one, 5, 6. So that's not a 5. That's not a 2. This one isn't an 8. So that is what's left over. About 6 and 7. I'm not doing this very systematically, but
No.
that's okay. 5. 3. 3, 6, 2. 6.
That one's the 6.
None of these are 3s. 4, 5, 6. Not 2,
Bottom.
not a 4, 3, 2. Alright. I didn't want to just, like, fill it in as to, like, because, like, I see the 987, 987, 987, so it has to be. I mean, it's just that pattern continuing where it's just large, small, small, and it keeps shrinking, and then we just have that same cycle repeat over and over and over and over. But anyway, just in case there was anything in there that could have possibly been tricky, but anyway, I could not find that one on Logic Masters Germany. So, do you want to do one more, Mama?
Sure.
Right. Then find the right one here. Nope. Alright, and the next puzzle is chain link. The puzzle link is now in chat. Normal Sudoku rules. Excuse me. Third puzzle we're going to do today is Chain Link by Kira. Normal Sudoku rules apply. The gray lines are palindromes containing either only low digits 1, 2, 3, 4, or only high digits 6, 7, 8, and 9. The yellow area enclosed by the two palindromes contains only digits from the opposite polarity to the palindromes, and 5. For example, if the palindromes contain digits 1, 2, 3, 4, then the yellow area contains digits 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. The sum of the digits in the yellow area is a prime number less than 135. Numbers along an arrow must sum to the number in the circled cell, and digits separated by a black dot are in a 1 to 2 ratio. Digits separated by a white dot are consecutive, and numbers in a cage sum to the indicated total. So our yellow digits. Well, if these are a palindrome, then we're just going to start marking them. Let's get the color yellow here. That doesn't matter. I don't want to repeat colors. Although, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. Okay, that one is forced. Well, they're not forced to be different. So, hold on. The ones that are forced to be different, green and purple. So now the rest, red, blue, green, and purple. Now this one sees green, purple. This one sees red and blue. This one and that one see red and blue. These two see blue. This one sees green and purple. This one sees blue. This one must be blue because of these three, so that one makes this one red. And that one blue. Which takes out blue, purple, not purple here. Red is removed from these two. And green from those two as well.
Well, and in box 6, the red reflects around the palindrome.
Oh, it sure does. Takes out green. blue makes this one not purple. And those two are the same.
And they're not
now,
red.
right. And now this one is that one, and they're not both blue, and they're not both green, so they're purple, which makes their neighbors not purple. And this one's green, so this one's not red. And I should probably swap out green for orange. No, black, because of the yellow. Purple here is going to remove purple as an option. Now these two can't be black.
Well, and the purple black there in box 1 can't be black.
This red sees that red. So those two are red. Black, this saps, these two are black. There we go, first try. No mistakes made in the process. Okay, well, yellow means this one must be black, and this one must be red. And so blue is missing in this group. Well, blue is not here or here or there. This blue sees there, so that's blue. And missing purple in here, so purple here and here. Remove the rows, this one the column, so this one's purple. Okay, what about these two boxes? Well, no, they're not there, and I don't see. Let's look at box 1 first. I don't see red. And what's the other one I don't see? Black. Can't be blue, purple, can't be yellow. And this one and that one rule out that one and those two. Which has to be at least one digit inside of that 14. Now, red is similarly positioned over here, and black is similarly positioned over here. So what else do we have missing? Well, blue in box 3 is here, so purple in box 7 is similarly reflected. So then we've got red and black. And so we're going to have red and black. And everything else is yellow.
Or 5. Oh, no, it's yellow, because yellow contains the 5.
Mm-hmm. We've got one black property options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8. But I don't know if that's enough information. These are consecutive, but that's not super helpful. Okay. Well, now what? What else do I have? Well, I know that 2 of the digits, minimum, inside of 14 must be yellow. Because I can put red and black in there. So, I could put 5 and 6, so that doesn't doesn't demonstrate one way or the other. Yeah, because it could be 1, 2, 5, 6. And that could be true for both 14s. Now, I don't think it's possible for it to be 2, 3, 4, 5. Because if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, that means that red or black is, well, if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, those are all digits from the yellow group. Because 5 is guaranteed to be in yellow, and 2, 3, and 4, well, 2 of those have to be from yellow, and so therefore the last one from there has to be yellow. So 2, 3, 4, 5 is out of both options.
Well, if we look at boxes 4 and 6, the 2 arrow clues, if yellow is low,
Right. Or 5.
even if it's a 5,
Mhm.
but that purple is going to be high.
Yeah.
So yellow cannot be low, or
Yeah, yellow cannot be low. So if it was,
right,
blue would at least be 6, or
right.
purple would at least be 6, and you would only have 5 as an option. And so that would be minimum 7, which is not possible. And looking at the 14 a little bit more
Red,
closely.
blue, yellow, and purple, or red, blue, purple, and black have to be 1 through 4.
And then looking at the 14 a little bit more closely, I did say that 5 and 6 was an option, but it's not. 5 is always part of the yellow group. And so learning that we could not have both digits in the high group. I guess this part doesn't matter because the arrow is way simpler. So ignore that.
Yeah. The
Especially because it
black
doesn't
crop key
actually.
in row 1,
Mhm.
6, 8. So blue is 3 or 4.
But now that we've learned that red and black are low digits, I have to have at least 2 low digits in all options. So these 2 are not it. They are yellow.
Right. And the 2 arrows that are bent, or at least the one in box 4, it's going to be a 5 or a 6,
All right, it could be a 5.
or 8 or 9.
It's minimum 6, so that can't be a 4.
Why is it minimum 6? Why can't 5 be there?
Gosh darn
If, for that matter, 8 plus 1 is 9.
8 plus 9 is 1. 8 plus 1 is 9 where?
Box
As
6.
in, like, yeah. I just hadn't finished there. I got
Oh, okay.
confused because I thought, like, oh, the 6 is the minimum. No, it's a 5, like you said. And then I just hadn't filled it in yet. So that was my bad. I was not clear what I was doing there. Okay, well, what else?
Well, the other arrow clue that's up there by from box 3 to 6, the 2 yellows, it's gonna have to be a low one there in the center.
Mhm.
So,
Because if it wasn't low, then it would be 2. It would at least be a 5 and a 6, which is
right,
11,
5,
which is
6
not
is
possible.
the yeah.
Minimum 5 means this is 679, and this can go all the way up to 8, because that's minimum 1, and 1 8 is 9. Now there are lots of colors. I think I'm going to take out the yellow coloring. Don't see any more arrows. So that's upsetting. I'm missing something. Okay, 14. We cannot have 3 low digits. So 1, 3, 4 is gone. 1, 2, 3 is gone. And 1, 2, 4 is gone. It has to be 1, 2, 5, 6. Because that's the only way we get 2 from yellow group. 1, 2, 5,
The red
6.
and black are 1, 2.
I don't know how I got that to work the way I wanted it to, but. Oh, because I took out 3 and 4. Sure. Okay, now what? Oh, there. It's 1, 2, 5, 6. This is an 8 that makes blues 4 and purples 3s. Four and six is 10, so that's a 5. Fives are gone. This is a 9. 6 and 8. Not an 8 here. 6 and 8. 9. 7, 9 pair. Which is going to make 7, 9 pair here. 7 no longer an option. 5, 6, 8. Which means this one has to be red or blue. Or, excuse me, red or black. To pair, because I already have 7, 9, 5, 6, 8. Seven is required across the top of this. Hmm. 7, 8, 9. Aha. And since this one's yellow, and those 4 are yellow, these two have to be a 1, 2 pair. And also the red that's forced, that also does things. Excuse me.
Okay, well, and the The yellow
Hmm.
sums to a prime number less than 135. So it's going to be 131.
Five,
Because what's there,
six,
you've got three
seven.
that are 35s. And the column 3, the 6, 7 is 13, is the
Uh-huh.
minimum.
Yeah,
And column 7, 5, 7 is minimum. So 131 is the only
because
prime.
it says strictly less than 135.
Right.
And so we've got 131 or 133.
No.
Is 133 prime? Or is it composite? Divided by. It's not divisible by 3, it's not divisible by 5. Ah, it's divisible by 7. And 131, not divisible by 2, 3, 5. So not divisible by 7, not divisible by 11. And it doesn't matter, we don't need to check anything higher than that. Because if we do 131 divided by 12, it gives us a smaller number. So we've passed the square root.
Right. So that's going to have to be 6, 7 is for 13
Yeah.
because you went higher than that, then. So it's either 5, 8 or 6, 7. Yeah.
Nine has these two, that's not a 9. I just did the wrong digits entirely. What is wrong with me? 6 is gone. 3 and 5 makes a minimum of 8. 3 can't pair with 7 or 8. But it's not those two that I need to look at. It's these two. Why am I so silly? These two.
Yeah, because
70.
those two, yeah, I say those sum to 13 also. The 5, 6 pair in row 6.
And now this, well, these have to have both 5 and 6 on it. So that means it's a 6 in the middle, and 5, 7 around it. 8 and 9. 7 there. 9. 8. 7's gone. 9 is gone. 6 is gone from those two. That's still fine. I don't need blue, and I don't need purple. And now 2 and 6 is 8. But I can make 7 with 2 and 5, or 1 and 6. Five, 6 pair places 9. Oh, that's an 8. This must be 5 then. 7, take 5 out.
6 and 3 is 9 for the arrow in box 6.
9, 5. This is a 5, so that one's 9. 6, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 7. These two aren't 5.
And the arrow cage that crosses box 3.
6 and 2 makes 8. First try. Alright, I did find this one on Logic Masters Germany. Row 2 followed by column 8. Is it more than average? I think it's pretty straightforward. Because oops, that's what I wanted. While the palindrome is I mean, the palindrome ends up forcing digits to be here or here, which is going to give you the high versus low. And then once you have high versus low, I mean, that gives you, it forces it's pretty forced, the option for everything. It's yeah, the high and low, that's pretty straightforward. I'm not sure of a better way of going about doing that. And then that leads into the 14 cages being what they are. And then once you have the 14 cages as they are, then it's pretty straightforward to get this has to be 6, 7, and this one has to be 5 or 6 and 7 or 8. So yeah. All right. I don't have anything else to say about either of those. Anything else that you want to say, Mama?
I'm good.
All right. Then it's back over here, switch over to the talking screen, and I am going to thank everyone for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. Yeah, if you'd like to see additional content on the channel, make sure to ring the notification bell, and make sure you have it on all of the notifications. That way you can be alerted when I go live. Yeah, there's more I could say here, but I just want to, again, thank everyone for watching and ask, or hope that you have a wonderful day. We're not starting soon. That was a mistake. Goodbye.